Okay, final topic for 2016. What movie and what game are you most looking forward to in 2017? Matt, we'll start with you.
Can I start?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I am really looking forward to the Fate of the Furious.
Justice League. Yeah, Fate of the Furious.
I'm so not. I pretty much everybody. I think if you've watched this, you know what I'm going to say. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, yeah.
Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really.
Come on. Come on.
Like a fanboy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But no, as far as for games, I mean, I was going through, looking at some of them again. I really wish The Last of Us 2 was coming out this year.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not going to come out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. All the things that I'm reading is it's no way it's going to come out before 2018, maybe even 2019.
I bet 2019. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a way in hell we see this in 2018. I mean, they need years to do that. Good. Go take your time. Go do it. But I don't think there's a chance in hell we'll see it in 2018.
I guess what I was looking at more than anything is at some point this year I'm going to have to upgrade consoles.
Mm.
So I'm either getting a Switch or I'm getting a PS4.
Yeah.
And from all of the games that I'm seeing and all the games that I want to play, most of them are PS4.
Right.
They're either PS4 titles or they're PS4 or they're going to be out of the PS4, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The Spider-Man game is probably the one that I hope it's the best.
Isn't that Insomniac?
Insomniac Games is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping it's like the Batman games. I'm hoping it's like the Arkham City, Arkham Asylum games where you have a set of skills, but when it comes to combat, it's you go in there and you just do your combos.
It kind of has to be, doesn't it?
That would make it
awesome. You can't
awesome.
have a Spider-Man game and not have the experience of flying through the city and having that free reign.
Yeah, but it's also got to have that banter too.
All right.
I mean, I need him to say some smart-ass shit when I'm fighting people.
That's right.
That's what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man.
Because this isn't the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man. This is its own standalone, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, it's being produced by Marvel.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not.
So hopefully
it's not
there's
the
some
same
tie-ins.
Spider-Man like the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not Spider-Man Homecoming the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Spider-Man. But when I looked at all the other ones, I played Destiny a lot. Second one's coming out this next year. Kind of excited about that.
Sequel, or is it a
Expansion?
It's a new game.
Okay.
Destiny 2. I don't know if it's come out yet, but the Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that's
That one
game
looks
of the
awesome.
year.
Yeah.
I bet.
But then the God of War game looks phenomenal.
Do we even know if that's going to be next year though? I think we're still a couple years away from that one.
They had like a gameplay demo.
Yeah. Yeah, but they
So
did
I'm
for
hoping
Last
that it
of
comes
Us
out
2.
next year.
It could. I guess they haven't announced a date, right? I bet we're still. I bet that's a 2018 game. But yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
But another one, I mean, and it's kind of where I'm kind of on the fence, is Breath of the Wild. That game could be badass. But that game's coming out on the Wii U and the Switch, right?
Yep. But you don't have a
So-
Wii U, right?
I don't have a Wii U, but
Yeah.
I figure once the Switch comes out, it'll be cheap.
You might be able to get one for like $50 on eBay. I mean, the demand has been. I know one person with a Wii U. You know.
Yeah, it was not a real successful console.
No. I mean, what did it do? 13 million? Oh my God. That's. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good idea. If you could get it really cheap, that's a good.
But
idea.
then that kind of brings up that dilemma. Do I want to buy a Wii U and one of the last games made for it? Because I already did that with the PS3.
Right.
So, you know, I've kind of had it for a couple of years, and I'm out of new titles for it. Mm-hmm. As of this last year, they stopped making PS3 games.
Longevity and the use you get out of the Switch is obviously exponentially. Orders of
And
magnitude.
so you buy a new console. Is the Switch going to be a 10-year console, though?
No, of course
Oh,
not.
no.
No, it'll probably
Because
be.
that's with the Xbox and PS3, they always claim that they're 10-year consoles.
Well, you know what's funny is I think that the way that stuff's going right now, they're starting to veer off more to a we don't know that about Nintendo yet. I hope they are, but both PlayStation, both Sony and Microsoft are now going towards
The half console.
Well, the iteration of the console is becoming irrelevant because now that they've all adopted PC off-the-shelf hardware with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, that's why programming for each of these consoles has been super easy to port from PC to Xbox to PlayStation 4 because they're all running PC components. It's been super easy, way more cost-effective to do that, and also it makes future expandability, or I shouldn't say expandability, when the next iteration, thank you, of the consoles come out, because of the architecture, they'll always be backwards compatible, just like, it'll be closer to Steam. So if you buy, that's why I always tell people now, well, at least from the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on, get your games if you can digitally. Because then you can re-download them, let's say in the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation 6, anytime you want to. Because you own them. You know what I mean? You own the rights. And you don't need to worry about your console, is it going to play it? Or do I need, is it going to have the output that's going to work with this system? I mean, there's some systems we can't even play right now. If you got a Nintendo hooked up, what do you have, an adapter? Because I'm assuming you don't have...
I have an adapter for the TV that does the RCA.
So what now?
I have an adapter for the TV that goes RCA and HDMI.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a nice way to be able to always have your library that you have, at any time. Same thing that you can with your phone or whatever. If you buy a game on the App Store, you can get rid of it anytime you want to and download it again for free. But don't get me wrong. There's pluses and minuses to both sides. But
but I mean, if you think about that, though, if we want to touch on that. I mean, Alienware came out with the console this last year that uses the Xbox controllers.
Right.
Steam came out with their own console. How successful have they been, though? Because you're touching into a market where you might as well be buying a PC and upgrading that PC to play those same games.
Well, yeah, but the difference there is that's for playing PC games. Like, Xbox One and PlayStation might be using PC components, but they're still all standardized once. Well, now with the PS4 Pro, there's there's two SKUs to program for, but there's one. If the game is certified and it goes through Q&A, it's going to work on all of them. When you got an Alienware system or whatever, those are just different PCs with different specs that you're using a Xbox One controller to play a PC game. Now, our brother does that. He plays a lot of games on PC on his TV through a Steam Link and all this elaborate setup that most of the population never use. I think one of the biggest drawings for the console space versus the PC is the simplicity, and it's going to fucking work. If you buy a game at Target and you put it in, it's going to work because every PlayStation is the same. So comparing a console to a PC in a form factor similar to a console like an Alienware, it's still PC versus real console. Those aren't really the same thing. Does that make sense? I mean,
I understand that aspect of it, but
gaming.
As the PS4 and the Xbox One comes in, but so many of those games now are made for three platforms.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They're made for the
Xbox
Xbox
I see what
One.
You're saying. Should you just go ahead
PlayStation 4 and the PC.
Right.
And it's the Alienware and Steam that's built their consoles for that PC aspect of the game.
Right. Yep. You're right. Yep.
I mean, now obviously I can't get some of the God of War on the PC because it's not out on the PC. It's an exclusive for the PS3 or PS4. I'm sorry. But at the same time, I mean, the more they go towards that, I mean, it kind of takes that individuality. I remember when Sony came out with the PS with the original PlayStation, and it was so different than everything. It had the black back on it, and the formatting was so much different, and it was kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to get away from PlayStation or the Xbox.
No, I think they're always going to have iterations of them. I mean, with the Scorpio coming out next year, it's rumored that's even going to run Oculus, which is pretty cool. Yeah. If you want high-end VR, I know the PlayStation VR
nothing like paying $600 for a console.
Yeah, well, it's going to be years, and that's going to have to come down at least 30 to 40% price before that hits a mass market. I mean, even the PlayStation one's $400 on its own, and you still need the PlayStation. And have you seen the intricate setup you need to do to get that thing running, all the wires? Holy shit!
Well, and you better have a Pro. Or
no,
it
runs on the regular PlayStation too.
It runs on it, but if you want that high resolution, you need the PS4 Pro.
It might help with the frame rate. Is it called the Pro or the S? Yeah, the frame rate would definitely help. Because our brother has the Oculus Rift. He just got the touch controllers yesterday with the hand stuff.
Yeah.
And that's some high end shit. And when you've seen how cool that is. The resolution is higher than that of the PlayStation VR, and it's more powerful. It is. It's way more expensive. It's like a $1,500 setup versus $800 setup if you count PlayStation. Well, you can do it cheaper, but you know what I mean.
Is that the future of gaming, though?
Say what? Well, yeah, but we're
future?
years away from that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that it is. I have a 3D television. You know how many movies they make in 3D now?
Well, no, I'm not saying console games are ever going to go away and on a 2D screen's ever going to go away. I think we're still going to have that 100 years from now. I think that the controller that we love and have adapted to has evolved into the point where, you watch laptops get thinner, and basically the only form factor that you really need, they come down to just the basics of what you need, right? Is a screen in front of you and a keyboard to type on. As long as you can squeeze in the electronics.
Microprocessing and battery size.
Yeah, exactly. But as long as you can squeeze all that stuff into it, and then you want to make it smaller, like all these companies keep doing, that's basically the evolved form factor that works the best for this type of, non-direct input, unlike a tablet. When it comes to console stuff, I don't think console's going to go away. Do I think VR is eventually going to be huge? Yeah, of course. Just think about what we're talking about. The ability to be in something and do whatever you want to. It'll take us a while to figure that out. Is that going to supplant PlayStation and Xbox gaming? No. It's going to be a new category. You know what I mean? That never existed before. Yeah. And I actually think the applications that are going to go into VR that we'll see 10 years from now, gaming is going to be a small subset of what they, because VR could be anything. Think holodeck terms. You think it's just games?
Do VR without the headset.
Yeah, exactly. And that's only a matter of time, too. Obviously that technology is actually going to come about. But, yeah, of course VR is going to eventually be huge. Imagine being able to have an actual holodeck experience.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Definitely we would do stuff that's always rated G, that's family-oriented. Probably mostly church or volunteer-based.
Yeah. Virtual volunteer.
Like Strange Days.
Right.
Was it Strange Days? The Liam Neeson movie? Back in the day, where he wore the headset and it was it had Angela Bassett in it, I think.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't think I've seen it.
I think it's called Strange Days.
That might have been Ralph Fiennes.
So yeah, that was one of those where it had the whole, except VR, like was a neural thing where you put this headset on and you were like in the body,
right,
feeling the feelings, feeling everything of the person.
Mm.
Yeah.
Who knows? There's some cool stuff out right now, but obviously, yeah, you got to spend a lot of money and be a real early adopter to get some of this stuff because it is, I don't think it's worth the money yet, of course, when you're on the early adopter phase, but I'm excited to go check out these touch controllers that our brother got because he said that they're just insane how much it affects the experience. He's playing some kind of game where you use your hands for magical spells and to block stuff and shoot stuff with your hands. That sounds pretty fucking cool.
It does sound pretty cool.
So I'm pumped to see that. And actually, I sent you a link earlier today of that retro Neon Arcade. I don't know if you watched it. It was a YouTube video.
I didn't get a chance to.
Someone made an old school 90s Neon Arcade in VR. And all these arcade cabinets and stuff, so you can go inside it and have a friend come in from anywhere else, in the world and be in the same arcade with you. Imagine walking by like Turtles in Time and RoboCop and Mortal Kombat and being in the arcade, and then they got like Time Crisis light gun games. They got a theater room. Guess what they had playing in the theater room when I watched this today? Kung Fury.
Of course.
Yeah. But it looks so
okay,
real.
So have you read Ready Player One?
Yes.
Mm-mm. I've heard good things though. Yes. Isn't Steven Spielberg making
so
a movie
doesn't that sound like what he was just talking about?
Oh yeah,
like
it's
Ready
exactly
Player
like
One.
that. Yeah.
You have to read this. If anybody would geek out over this book.
It's the same thing as like him going into like his friend's den, his hangout den. That is what he's describing.
I read it, and then I read it again. I literally finished the book, and I picked it back up like an hour later and started reading it over again. Mm-hmm. It's that good.
I've got it on my iPad. I just haven't read it yet.
Do you have the physical book?
No. I've got all my books are digital.
I have it within reach. I literally, like this book, I can't put it down when I start reading it.
Yeah. How many times have you read it?
It's fun.
You have to have this book. I'm on 2 3/4.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's an easy read too.
Yeah, maybe I'll read that over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You could because I almost missed work one day. I had to finish it
because I was engrossed in a good book. I'm sure they would have loved that excuse.
What do? You show up and talk to your boss and give him the book and be like,
"Come
on,
try."
Yeah. Put this down.
Cool. Well, those are some good desires.
Topic,
no, that's good stuff.
But I think that movie's coming out this next year.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah, Steven Spielberg's doing it, right?
But yeah, I guess that's the other part. It's Steven Spielberg's doing it, so never mind.
Right, because what a shitty director. Only like one of the greatest of all time. You don't like
put
Steven
walkie-talkies
Spielberg?
in their hands.
Say what?
Let's put walkie-talkies in their hands because kids can't handle guns.
Okay, look, I'm not saying that George Lucas didn't have a little get into his brain and let's fuck up some old movie shit. You know, he did some bad stuff there. But you also can't deny Raiders of the Lost Ark.
But I can deny the
Phantom
Crystal
Menace.
Skull.
Okay, now, I realized as soon as I said that and I opened that door, I didn't look down the hallway to see what else was. Okay.
To see the fourth movie in the series?
I made a great movie 30 years ago.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and move right on. Okay. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. 2017, how about you?
Movies, episode 8.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big one to see. Also excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. Can't wait to check out Baywatch when that comes out.
Dang, yeah.
Come on. Got to revitalize that franchise.
It looks funny.
Yeah.
I like that they're not
Zephron.
trying to...
They know they're not going to take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Because you
21 Jump Street is what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah. And then as far as gaming goes, yeah, Matt brought it up, but my wish list is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything that you keep seeing about it, it becomes just more and more appealing. I am riding that hype train.
Mm-hmm.
Going to ride it to the end, and it's going to be awesome.
And with the delays and everything, this is one of the games where you've seen it be delayed, twice now? And I don't recall the normal internet bitching that you would get with something like that, because I think everyone's so pumped for this game and they want to say, no, you take as much time as you need, because I just saw that and that looks goddamn amazing. So original. How
many times was No Man's Sky delayed though?
Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
and that game ended up being a complete...
There was, dude. We could have a whole.
I've
nother
never played
topic
that, but I could only.
Yeah, we could talk about that for another 45 minutes. Everything that went wrong there. Have you guys even played that?
No, I
have
not really inclined to. Part of it's just kind of the scaling that they use as far as how many worlds that you're messing with. When in all actuality, it's not really all that many. It's the same one, but they say it's different because it's in a different location. So you have essentially the same place, just carbon copy God knows how many other places, and so big that you can't even see anybody else, and the entire build up from the ground up, seemed flawed.
It just seems like they promised.
I was hoping it would be like Eve.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You ever play Eve Online?
Yeah. Yep.
That game is huge.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And I guess I was kind of hoping it'd be more like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I heard like some guy beat it in like 15 hours, I was like, really?
I thought it's a never-ending, go anywhere you want to, unlimited planets. How do you beat it?
It has a story arc, though.
Mm-hmm.
There is a story? I didn't think there was one.
As apparently there is. Apparently you can beat the game in 15 hours. if you're that good at it. I probably couldn't beat the game in 15 hours.
They set up math algorithms so that this would be a never-ending universe of planets that you can go do anything, but someone completed the thing in 15 hours.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean,
they literally gave refunds.
Yeah.
For people that purchased the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time there was that much backlash. I remember seeing that on every community message board from here to the sun saying, hey, check it out, you can get your money back. And then the tidal wave.
There's like a Reddit post for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, any other games that you guys have for 2017?
I try to keep my list compact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I would...
How about you, Ben?
Episode 8, I can't think of anything that's probably going to trump that. Obviously, the Marvel movies will be good. Thor Ragnarok's next year, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I like those probably a lot more than... I mean, I know they've done well, but they're not the most loved out of the Marvel movies. I like them a lot. I love the guy that plays Loki.
Oh, Tom
Hiddleston.
I just didn't like the first Thor.
But
the second Thor was really good. I did not like the first Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Visually, I just did not like it.
Yeah, wasn't that one of the movies that was the one I wanted to fix?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I was bitching about what's the
robot?
Villain?
The Annihilator.
Annihilator.
Oh, the Destroyer robot?
Is that what it was? Yeah. See, It wasn't even good enough to warrant memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if somebody wants a refresh, they can go back and check one of the first episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this is definitely something we want to say. Go back in time. Look. No. No. Well, of course, we'll be doing that 6 months about today.
Yeah.
So, episode 8, I'm super freaking pumped for. I know that we're going to start seeing some footage, maybe trailer aspect or whatever in the spring. But what do you guys, since we got time to kill, what do you guys see happening in 8?
Let's see.
Projections.
I'm assuming either if they don't start with it, they'll somehow have incorporated some training segment that Rey has gone through with Luke to kind of advance.
This is
her.
going to be the first movie that picks up right where the last one ended,
Ends.
which they've never done before, but they said they're going to do.
Yeah, so they'll
Other than with Rogue One and A New Hope.
So
Yeah.
so she'll have another mentor established in the series, and I'd like to see something running parallel where you see like her training with Luke the same way you see Kylo Ren.
Snoke.
His kind of training session with Snoke. Maybe kind of see some differences as far as styles go and kind of where each one is leading them. Ideally, what I'd really like to see is the opposing element for each character start to show up in each one of them. So by that I mean, in Rey, you could almost kind of see a hint of dark side in her when she's towards the end of her fight with Kylo Ren. I'd like to kind of see if they would maybe explore that a little bit.
Right.
The fact that she's got to deal with that temptation, or maybe she's starting to kind of get pushed in that direction, the same way that we see Kylo Ren really starting to doubt his path and kind of the way that he's been progressing and starting to gravitate the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting dynamic to see both of them kind of reject their training.
Yeah.
To see, like Rey does her thing and then she's like rejecting it. And then maybe she's not rejecting it, but maybe like Luke and Yoda and them are kind of having that conference off to the side, little Force Ghost conference. And be like, I don't know. She seems to be going pretty dark with this stuff. And then they're like, yeah, don't train her. Don't train her. Remember what happened with Anakin? He was too old. And then Luke's like, no, I got this.
Can you just see Luke talking and you see Luke's back, and then from time to time you just see like Obi-Wan or Yoda's Force Ghost like peek out to stare at Rey? And you come back in. What are you talking about?
She can
Nothing.
hear us?
Don't
No,
worry
I
about
don't
it.
think she can hear us.
Not you.
The rugby huddle.
And then I'd like to see that Kylo's not that dark.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that he's playing the long game, that he's more kind of like a mole in it.
I don't know.
Maybe even it
Sticking
comes
your
out
dad
that
to the gut is kind of pretty
well,
hardcore.
it's like, Dad, help me. Thanks for helping me prove to him that I'm a mole.
You kind of just winged me.
And I know you didn't want to be in any other movies because you hurt your leg.
Yeah. I
There
release
you go. But I'd kind of like it, being like Kylo's kind of playing the long game, and you find out he's not like horrible in the end.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of at least saving attempt, right? It can't be just, okay, well, he's bad now. There's no way everyone's going to give up on him, at least not Leia. Speaking of, I don't know if you guys read that.
The heart attack?
Yeah, the heart
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
That's
Last I heard she was in stable condition,
Right.
so hopefully she comes through it.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers definitely go out to her. But obviously, I'm assuming her footage, so she's definitely in this one. There's no way she's just going to give up on her son, although she did watch, or not watch. She's aware that he just killed her man, so that might add a little bit more complexity to it.
She might have had those same feelings at some point.
Yeah, right. But
Not like they were
Ben
together.
Solo's the only one who had the balls to do it.
Sure, you love eating the hamburger, but you hate watching me slaughter the cow. Yeah, that's interesting, Tig. I don't see that happening, that Rey and Kylo are both going to forsake their trainers and just say, come on, Rey, we don't need that. I don't. Doesn't seem like the avenue that the story group would go down, but that'd be unique.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with Finn, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of a role is he going to play? Because, they essentially left him
In a coma.
at the end.
almost.
He wasn't in
He wasn't in the tank.
the water tank or whatever yet,
Back
like
to
Luke
tank,
was,
yeah.
but he was on his way.
Right.
Yep.
We'll see. Do you guys think we're going to find out who Rey's parents are in this one? It's rumored that we are.
I think they said that they will.
Right. Boy, they love giving out those parent secrets right away. I think they're trying to not recreate Empire. What we found out in the first act? That Kylo was the son of
Well,
which was
thing is,
cool.
there's all kinds of rumors though, and there's theories
But it wasn't supposed to.
that Rey is actually Palpatine or that Rey is Vader.
That she is
That-
Palpatine or is Vader?
Well, that she's possibly Vader because it's possible that she doesn't have a father.
Oh,
and that
you mean
was
like the
made
same
like
thing as-
Anakin was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she's
Yeah.
like a virgin.
Like she's Jesus Christ Part 3, or I guess maybe this is pre-Jesus since it was a long time ago in a
Yeah.
galaxy
Yeah.
far, far away. But
What was part 2? Yeah.
well, I mean, in
That's what made it funny.
my chronology, it
Okay.
would have been Anakin,
Right. Oh, gotcha.
but she would be 3. Now that Darth Vader's out of there, the Force was so strong or the dark side was so strong, it created another baby
Huh.
to balance out the Force. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Well, again, they have my full trust because they've been killing it so
because
far.
she could be Vader. Meanwhile, Kylo Ren's talking to Vader. I mean, it's kind of like, nah. It's an interesting theory.
I just I
Just
like
like
all
Jar
the,
Jar's a Sith.
all the characters, the actors that they've done with 7 was so cool. I loved Adam Driver as Kylo, and watching.
Yeah.
I have all these ridiculous montages popping up in my head that make absolutely no sense, but I think they would just be funny. In addition to the Force Ghost popping around the corner, when Rey's telling Kylo, "You're scared that you'll never be as powerful as Darth Vader," if she kind of gets into his insecurity side, starts popping out a little video on her iPhone of that scene from Rogue One where he's just whipping through people, just to tease it. I don't know.
And at the end, just something that says "not you."
Yeah, you'll never do that.
I think I stopped a laser beam with the Force.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I think he's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I gotta say I don't think anything can trump 8. Probably. I'm sure there'll be other good stuff next year. Justice League is next year, isn't
Yep.
it? Okay.
don't
Not
worry
that
about that.
I'm.
It's there.
It's not going to dethrone 8.
We'll see it because it's fucking Justice League. I'm not that pumped
mean-
for it.
Technically, so is Fate of the Furious is next year too. If you're wondering about somebody taking the throne away from 8.
You know damn well because of your rant, now we all have to go see this movie opening night because you've already planted a seed of.
Jesus.
Well, we got to hear what Matt thinks about this. No, we can't fucking wait. We got to do it right away. So now, because of your ineptitude, you've just forced yourself into seeing this opening night.
Oh my god.
Okay, and
I'm gonna have
then-
to look for some free tickets.
Yeah, whatever you got to do, get some Groupon tickets or something in advance. As far as game, I would just say I don't know if I'd say a particular game, but I'd definitely say the Nintendo Switch. There's so much we don't know. I think the next conference where they're going to announce more details is going to be January 12th. Where they're going to give us more. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce because I think they Nintendo.
It's a March release.
Yeah, it's March release, but the official Nintendo conference where they're going to give us all the details is going to be January 12th. The patents that they just filed got up on NeoGAF, so a lot of that's been leaked. So we actually know some stuff before Nintendo even officially announced it. Like, shocker, the screen's a touchscreen. Well, we all fucking knew that, you know. But
How innovative.
yeah. Do you guys?
I don't think I own anything with a touchscreen.
I'm trying to wonder if they'll put their mobile move that they're making, if they'll make Pokemon Go and stuff like that also work on the
Yeah,
Switch. Because,
That's been talked about.
but how do you do that if this doesn't have an always-on data connection because it's not a phone? Well, you know, I mean, unless you're around Wi-Fi, you can't play Pokemon Go. But I think that'd
Well,
be
you make it one of those games you can play, and then just as you're at a hotspot or whatever, it just
Right.
downloads and updates.
yeah. I just
If
think
it has
that,
a GPS in it.
right. I think that'd be so smart with the severe popularity if they've done with Pokemon Go to say, hey, you know those Pokemon Go you've been collected for the past 6 months to a year?
No.
Now you can play them on this new Nintendo Switch only game of Pokemon where you can actually fight other people and collect them
Yeah,
there.
here's your battle arena for Pokemon
Yeah,
Go.
I mean that's just gonna draw whatever percentage is over to that market. That's so smart. Why not dip into that huge pool that you created with a runaway success? But I think that'd be cool. But Zelda Breath of the Wild looks amazing. But man, I want to see. I know that
There's a Mario game coming out.
There's a new Mario game that looks like to be a spiritual sequel to Mario 64 for the first time. Because the Sunshine games were awesome. They were awesome. Sunshine was a mixed success. You know, that's kind of a polarizing game. It was beautiful, but I mean, you couldn't punch anymore. Now you can shoot stuff with water. take what you will from that. But getting a new Mario game that is rumored to be the most along in development, knowing that we're going to get a new Mario game along, I don't know if it'll be a pack-in, but that and Zelda Breath of the Wild, which looks so cool, open-ended, but God, I know they're specifically saying where we've only shown you 1% of the game and they're not showing us anything else on purpose. It looks cool, but it also looks so sparse. Compared to what we see in The Witcher. Like, it's big and it's huge, but man, it looks empty.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
But
because like in the demos, it's like there's these wide open fields and there's just nothing in them.
Yeah,
wide open space.
Billions of blades of grass.
But that's blades of grass
and zero monsters.
Yeah, and it looks so sparse. Now,
we'll start seeing more from the game, though.
Right.
We
have seen almost nothing from the game. Nintendo's keeping this very close to the chest. We haven't seen any villages. We haven't seen any rupees. I mean, we have seen almost nothing from this game, which I like because if this is going to be open-ended and you can do anything you want and go in any order you want, what you kind of want to keep everything a secret because I can't just show you a little bit of level 1 because you're eventually going to play level 2, level 3, level 4, all the way to level 8, 9, whatever it is. But if you can play in any order, they probably don't want to spoil any of it because some of the stuff you might never get to until I don't know. I'm really excited for that game. I just want to see more of it. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm really Mario and Zelda are the only things that I'm pumped about. I just like the idea of having it portable and being able to take it with us and it being full-fledged console. I know it's not going to be up to PS4 specs, but even if it's close to Xbox One, which it's rumored to be between Wii U and Xbox, good enough for me.
Well, I think the other consoles are already feeling a little bit threatened by it because what was it? Microsoft came out and said that it's only 40% less fast when it's not plugged in or not on the console.
Yeah, which I mean, duh. Of
How
course
they know
it's
that,
not
I
gonna
don't
be.
know. But...
Yeah, I mean, there's no way it's going to have to render at full resolution on the screen with you in portable that your eye's going to be able to tell versus when you've got it on your 65-inch TV at home. So if you can have the same game, but you're going to add 2 to 3 hours of battery life by being able to render at a resolution that looks the same to your eyes because your eyes can't tell if it's a 720, 1080, whatever it is, of course it's going to use a lower clock speed when it's in portable mode. What the hell do you think your laptop does or your phone? That's just, when I read stuff like that, I'm like, do you guys know how technology works? Of course it is. Well, it's actually got more juice in the box. No, it's just plugged in. It doesn't need to work in power mode in it, and now it needs to output a full 1080p, which it doesn't need to do when you take it with you. I mean, when I read that, I'm like, duh. Of course that's how it works, but you just know people are going to misconstrue that type of thing.
Well, yeah, they're just putting that fear out there.
Right. But you know what? Now that I think about it, besides Mario and Zelda,
that's always been that's their popular titles, but that's kind of really their only titles.
And they're gonna have to have a Pokemon launch, so whether it's bringing Pokemon Go into it or its own separate thing, they'll do that because it's a huge title.
Right. They'll port Smash Brothers over to it. I don't know if they'll do a whole new thing.
Well, I mean, even the commercial we watched had like NBA Jams or some shit in it. So
yeah.
So I mean, they're already getting some EA Sports titles in there.
Right. But I guess, for the most part, I'd be doing this here's what I would really want out of the Switch more than anything. Because if they do the same thing that PlayStation and Xbox are starting to do, that now if you own this game digitally, you have the license of this game so you can download it in the future, and you just always have this game. Like, how many times have I bought Super Mario Brothers 3 from Nintendo? I mean,
I have 4 copies right now.
Yeah, the carts that we've bought in the past, the All-Stars version, another cart on the Wii, right on the shop. If you got a DS or a 3DS, you buy it from their shop again. It's like, okay, now that they're doing this Nintendo ID, hopefully this is going to be the be-all, end-all that, okay, now you buy Kung Fu on the NES from this shop. You now own that title from Nintendo. So for the Switch to whatever the Switch 2 is or the next consoles, you don't need to buy that game again. Please tell me that's going to be the case, because that's what I would love more than anything is the Nintendo and Zelda more than anything on the Switch, but the whole back catalog of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games and GameCube games and Nintendo 64 games. That's what I fucking want. I don't want to run them on an emulator. I want them on a dedicated Nintendo hardware. Being able to take them with you anywhere. How cool would that be when you're sitting in the airport waiting for your flight and you're playing A Link to the Past? on your huge 1080p portable screen.
Jesus.
That's how I played my games, motherfucker. That's what I'm going to do.
But you'd think they'd almost have to do something like that because that's going to drive sales.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know
I mean, you can't come
they'll
out with a
have
console and only have 5 games for it.
right. They'll put out buy old Nintendo games, whatever they can get the licenses to. I'm just saying, are you going to charge full price again? I mean, come on. How many times do we have to buy that? Like, what a great way to catapult you right to the top. If you say, even if you said, if you bought a Nintendo game on the Wii, what do they call it, Virtual Console, or in the Wii U, or in the 3DS, or whatever it was, you can buy it one more time, but this will be the last time. It's like 50 cents. Can you imagine how many people would go about and buy a Switch just for that reason? To have one dedicated Nintendo console that can contain your entire backwards library from these, some of the most prolific games that have been on any system. I just think that would be a huge push for them. Like, why not do
As
that?
long as they can play them well.
Yeah, well, Jesus, how would it... Yeah, like, you mean like GameCube or Wii games, or...
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think about, like, what I love about the Wii is that you turn that controller sideways, and it's an NES controller.
Right.
But you start, you have to buy different controllers for the Wii if you want to play a Super Nintendo game.
Right. Because you'd be able to do that right out of the box with the Switch.
Yeah, I don't know how many buttons it has.
Well, it's got the YBXA, the LR, the ZRZL, and then joypad on the left, and also 4 other buttons that could either be a digital crosspad or another XYBA for, when you take off those Joy-Cons. But
yeah, but I mean, if you think about the GameCube and how odd that controller was.
That controller
but
was
so many
awesome,
games
though.
used it. No, that's just it though. They built games for that controller.
Right.
Like even like Mario Golf and stuff like that.
I see what you're saying.
You had to hold it in a certain way, and I mean, you can't hold the Switch controller like that.
You can take them off, but then what's cool? Oh, now that you're able to take these off and use them wirelessly if you want to, or slide them into that holder and use that as a controller, which is similar to the GameCube, right? You got the circle joypad here, circle joypad down there. There's your control pad and your C-stick. You got the 4 buttons like you did before, and you got the L and the R, so actually, technically, the buttons are all there. But this also, because, a lot of people have been speculating in the possibilities of this, since the controllers or the Joy-Cons are going to be able to slide off, that gives the potential of proprietary or specific controllers that you slide on that are tailor-made to a different gaming experience. Imagine having like a official Nintendo, or even if it was third party, Super Nintendo Joy-Con. So it's like exactly like the Super Nintendo. It feels just like it. Or here's your GameCube slide-ons. You could do that now, technically, because all it is USB-C plugins. So as long as they make the controllers for it and the games will work, they can totally do that. But I think that the button layouts, the way that they have, mirror the GameCube enough to make it work.
It does the GameCube, but definitely not the 64.
You could do joystick, joypad. Yeah, how do you do it with the
But
C
it had
buttons?
exactly, it had the trigger.
Yeah, but they've
so,
got...
I mean, it was almost like you could
got
play
the
it
trigger right
left-handed
here.
or right-handed.
You got your trigger right here.
But on the one, it was underneath. You had the
everybody watching
thumbstick
this?
and the trigger was all.
If you're watching this right now, put it
Think
on
about
mute. Try to
GoldenEye.
guess what we're doing.
Yeah. No, but think about playing GoldenEye on the 64.
Yeah. God,
And
we
you
spent a
had to
lot of
rely on that. So,
time. Boy, that and Quake 2 probably ruined a lot of GPAs for a lot of people.
it probably got a few kids out of college.
Well, that's the thing that game-wise, obviously, there's a lot of cool stuff coming in 2017. Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be great. I'm excited to see, I don't plan on getting this, but I'm excited to see what Microsoft does with this Project Scorpio that's going to be out next Christmas. Because if this is going to be the powerhouse that they're showing from the spec sheets, this looks more powerful than an Oculus-ready PC. So, I don't know, it'd just be kind of cool to... Step one of getting the prices down so that we can have consumer-grade high-end VR. Because PlayStation is kind of right at the bottom of that. Like, it does work, but if you've used an Oculus, it's not going to...
But they're like the first in the market from a console.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Which is why it'll probably...
I guess they're not the first. I mean, there was, PlayStation or Game Boy VR or whatever it was.
Virtual Boy. Yeah, I had one of those.
There you go.
God.
Yeah, red screen, making kids sick, giving them migraines.
Yeah, that was...
I'm sure the PlayStation VR is doing the same.
Well, PlayStation VR is doing pretty well. It's not. They projected, I think it was between 2 and 3 million units. They're having production issues getting them all out there. It's hard to find. They've almost sold 1 million. I think maybe 750,000. But that's not because of lack of demand. It's because of supply. But that's blowing away Oculus and Vive because, just like you said, well, it's console. Bigger market. So.
Yeah. Well, you can get a game that you play on that, or you can just play on your console.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently I've watched some videos of it. The Arkham Batman game in VR, it looks pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I just wish there was some movement aspect to it.
Yeah, well, like you're throwing batarangs, you're in the cave, you can look in the mirror, you've got the cowl on, you got to put it on yourself. I haven't watched all this stuff. And this was free that came out. If you've got Star Wars Battlefront, they gave you the new X-Wing VR mission.
I saw
free.
that. Yeah.
That's what we've all dreamed of.
They're coming out with Battlefront 2.
Right.
This next year too, so that should be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely one. I mean,
keeping the Star Wars
Did you
alive.
play the Battlefront on PS4?
I played Battlefront. I played Battlefront. I played the Republic Commander or Republic Commando
did you play the new
on
one
Xbox.
that just came out last year that looks like you're playing in the movie?
I haven't played it on PS4.
Oh my god!
I played the demo on PS3 when it first came out, and it was awesome.
The graphical fidelity of that, I just can't. The first time I watched it, and you're playing on Tatooine, and you're watching the troopers go by, and you're like, "This is a game. Are you kidding me?" And I'm not a big first-person shooter guy. I've played Call of Duty. It's fun for a while, and then I get bored with it. I played a little bit of Destiny. It's just not my thing. I love the Metroid Prime games. Played all of those start to finish. The first one is still my favorite, but I love those kind of first-person adventure more than that. Battlefront, I played the shit out of. I mean, that was just fun as hell. Playing with Kevin from Kind of Funny, and oh man, I love that game. So I'm super pumped for the sequel to that, and it's finally gonna have a first-player campaign, thank God, which I'm way more excited about than most players. So you know what? That might even be bigger for me than the Switch.
Ooh,
Matthew, what have you done to me?
I don't know. I raised questions.
Cool.
Like Meatwad.
Well, anything else you guys want to bring up?
I've planted the shadow of doubt.
You're no bi-curious. No, you're full-blown gay. I'm going to have to find a Christmas episode of that and send it out to everybody, and we'll watch that in sync or something. God, I want to watch that now. Cool. Anything else you guys want to throw in here for the end of the year? Last in 2016?
No. Merry Christmas.
God, I almost want to put in a slow motion montage of the whole 4 episodes that we've done right now with like some I will remember you.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, a little too heavy-handed with Sarah McLachlan.
It's been a journey.
I'll go put some bandages on and we can play that song.
For allowing me to be the... No, God, I'm not going to go down that road. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think about our topics before? What have you liked the most from this year? What are you excited about most for next year? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and don't forget you can watch regular episodes of Fractured Focus Monday through Thursdays. We post a topic of the show each day of the week and try to entertain you with our semi-witty banter and our incessant rambling. Until next year... God, Excelsior keeps popping in my head, but I'm not going to fucking say that.
We already did.
Yeah, but
Excelsior!
No, fuck that. We're not ending. I don't care if we got to talk for another 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, I don't have to use the bathroom this time, so I got some time.
And under threat of duress on that, we're going to go ahead and say until next time, Internet. Have a great year.